My name is Ace Fernandez, and we just become annual sponsors through a company called Frampton Insurance. Frampton Insurance, through the help of Sudhakar, really pressed our buttons and tried to get you all a very, very good underwriting this kind of privileges through a special company for your company benefits, in the sense you're not your benefits, obviously, your company insurance over there. So several of people over here are clients of ours, and we are local. Jim is local. He was here with one of the underwriters of the company right here, looking at this entire meeting. And what we are trying to do is try to see whether or not we can at least save your money enough to at least pay the membership for the IT serve over there. So that's our big objective. But more than that, the underwriters are here from Kansas for the last couple of weeks, looking at your website, looking at all the different companies, and looking at the risk that is involved in the whole industry over here. So the good news is that, yes, we managed to get her to approve something, and so very soon you'll be seeing emails flying around, or I will be visiting most of the companies just to introduce the value-added package that you all can get for your errors and omissions, directors, auto, and all kinds of stuff, workman's compensation. And above all things, we are local. We're just down the road, so anytime you have an audit, anytime you have things like that, anything, you can always step in and help you out. So thank you. We appreciate the privilege.
Rahul? Everybody must be angry at me. Every time I come here, I have to change my presentation from morning to evening. I send something, I have to change it. Hopefully we move this meeting to Tuesdays, because a lot of times Wednesdays a change comes out. I'm going to just go through briefly, guys, but I'll go to the main topic and spend more time. It's not going to be more like I presenting, it will be more discussion between us on the topic that you guys want to discuss more thoroughly on. Just in case you want to know that immigration has liberalized on the H-1Bs, but some people ask the question, liberalized on the L-1Bs, but is it same as the H-1Bs? That's a question that's coming. No, not exactly, but it definitely liberalized. If you look into it, all we need to prove in the H-1B, other than the job existing, is that it's a specialized knowledge, and the degree is the minimum requirement for the position. When it comes to the L-1B though, not only that we have to use the special knowledge, but special knowledge of the product and services that is related to your company. Now, so if it's not something specialized that is proprietary information for you, then you have to fall back to the advanced knowledge of the process and procedures in your organization. So if somebody is specialized in SAP 5.0, but you have some time systems, certain systems that are specialized for your organization, how to implement and all those things, that will qualify. Now this is the one that is added right now, that is making it more simpler. And also in the memo, they did point it out that you can place an individual at a third-party location. Previously, you could still place the person, but they didn't codify it. Now it's written in the memo. So that's the easiest thing. If you guys are not using it, please use it. You already know that for L1B, the two companies, the common ownership must be more than 50%. And that the employee must have worked back in the home country for at least 1 year before the guy qualifies to L1 visa, L1A or L1B, both of those things. Okay, well, right now let's go on the easy one. We did hear from the DHS that they are coming with the regulations to extend the STEM beyond, as you know that the court order is there. In February, the STEM extension of 17 months is getting over. Unless the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, corrects its mistake, the way they implemented the STEM extension in 2008. DHS is coming up with the regulations, which we will have time to comment on that. We're expecting those comments to come in October. Our organization will have time to comment over that when it comes in October, because we're going to work, Satish is going to work with us, and we're going to come up with the suggestions, and we're going to pass on the information to you. We are already, the IT serve already did send to you to request the DHS to act upon it. If you have not already sent it, please send a letter. So this is a positive news. Most probably STEM extension is going to stay. Is going to stay for 17 months or 24 months is a question that we need to look into. But it seems to that it's going to stay. H4 EAD is taking 90 days. When it initially started though, in May of 2000, May 27 though, it used to take only 30 days to get an EAD. Those applications that were filed a little bit later started getting into 90 days right now, so it's not that fast. There is another lawsuit that just came out. Seems to be that going in the same code, the same direction of the OPT STEM extension. So we don't know if there is anything that's going to pop up there to block or put a hold on that. Unlike the OPT, now the OPT STEM extension, the judge did not want to put an order so that everybody will get out of status. In the H4 EAD, if the judge puts an order, nobody gets out of status because everybody is on H4 visa. So we don't know what's going to turn out on that. So this is one of the examples that probably the ITServe need to watch carefully. Even though we are not that interested in the litigation here, if ever you want to go into litigation, if you are the aggrieved party, if the court determines that you are the aggrieved party, the chances of us winning will be very higher. In this H4 EAD, I don't think so ITServe will have more interest in fighting this, but you might have to look into the next one, which law firm is fighting, where the court is getting filed, you might have to fetch the money. The big thing, Obama administration is now coming up with different strategy. This is where, now we have definitely indicated many times to you guys that there is a chance that the priority date might be current, or they will allow the I-140 approved people to file the adjustment of status. Now the visa bulletin came out today, but however the information was leaked out on September 3rd that there is a probability that the visa members are going to move. The visa members did move for filing the adjustment of status. How much time they moved? In 5 years they moved for filing the adjustment of status. So even though, I mean, there is technically 2 visa numbers that they have given, which is 2005 and 2011, we don't have to look into 2005 for our organization purposes. It's 2011. So anybody whose application of I-140 with a priority date is before July 1st of 2011, they can file the adjustment of status right now. As you already know, they get an EAD, an advance parole, and within 6 months after filing the adjustment of status, they will be allowed for the AC-21. I don't have to explain the 180 days rule to you about the AC-21. Now, I think so this slide was made in the morning. There was a slight change on those things. I did send the correction thing that didn't came out.
Last statement is already true.
Right. Sorry about that. That's I take it out. The last statement is true.
I have one question on that possible implementation. I thought you said there may be 2 announcements.
Right.
So did they already announce the 2
Two.
announcements?
2 of them came out.
Okay.
2 of
We
them.
agree with that.
For this month,
For the October, the visa bulletin has 2 dates. One went back, one went forward. One went back by 1 year, one went forward by 5 years.
So what are the possibilities that they may make it current?
Now that's where I'm going to present a little bit and then hold on questions just for about 2-3 minutes and then we'll get to the discussion. So, now in November of 2014, the Obama administration did announce that they want to make the things correct. They want to have the employees the independence to fly around. That is exactly what in November statement has given. In December 30th of 2014, they did put a presentation in the Federal Register inviting us to comment upon. They did give us 30 days to comment upon, until January 30th to comment upon how you want those changes. After those comments were been done, somewhere in May or June of 2015, the OMB, Office of Management and Budget Information, did put out that they are coming with some changes in the STEM extension, and also they said that they're going to come with some changes with regards to the people who will be allowed to file the priority date when the priority date, even if the priority date is not correct. Now, Senator Grassley also did comment a little bit on that, which he has more information. He is the Judiciary Committee Chairman in charge of the immigration and naturalization. Now, he did comment negatively on both these events, on the STEM extension and also the people allowing it to file the adjustment of status before the priority date is correct. Now, that's been done in May. Now, on September 3rd, we got the leaked information that they are going to have with 2 priority dates. We never understood exactly what they were trying to tell all along. They never released the information, so they now have given 2 priority dates. The number 1 priority date, as you already know, that they can get the green cards. The number 2 priority date is to allow them to file the adjustment of status even if the priority date is not correct. They have given 2011. Now the next question that comes is that, why 2011? Why not 2009? Why not 2010? Why 2011? Why not 2015? When the Obama administration did announce that they want these employees to be freely roaming around or probably might not be in the backlog, they never indicated at any point of time why it should be a particular date or anything. Now, is it something that they don't have a capacity to handle all these applications in 1 month? Or is it that they're going to keep these things? Let's look into the history of the family immigration though. In the National Visa Center, when the family immigration is not correct, within 3 to 6 months period, before 3 to 6 months period, in other words, if the priority date is June of 2011, for example, they will act on the applications of September 2011. That's how the National Visa Center works. Sometimes they even go to the 6 months. Where did they came the figure from all the way from 2005 to 2011? That's 6 years. Where did they come with the figure? I can only base that it probably is the President Obama statement that he has given, and in December, on December 30th, the Federal Register and the further things that came out in the OMB. Why did they come up with this figure? We don't have any clue. Now, going back, is there any legal reasoning to that thing? Just hold on the question, guys. I will get into those things. Now, if you look into the H4 EAD and the STEM extension, there is nothing in the law that prevents them to do it. They just need to go through the regulatory process, which is, regulatory process is called CFR. Okay? INA is something that's passed by the Congress. A visa's numbers must be immediately available for filing the adjustment of status. The visa numbers are not available. They are admitting in the same visa bulletin that the visa numbers are not available. I don't have to tell them, it's there, they are telling it. The visa numbers are not available. So if the visa numbers are not available, then I don't know how they come up with this 2011. I understand if it's 2005, they would take 2006 applications. I don't know where they came up with this figure.
They might need some money so that they'll get 40 to 50.
That's a good question. Now, who was the guy that was the Washington guy? Prakash Kadri, yeah. He did that, he closed the chapter for them. They don't get money for the EAD and OP, advanced parole extensions anymore. So there's only one time. I mean, they're killing the golden goose. These guys are extending the H-1Bs and all those things, so the money was coming to them. So that doesn't seem to be the thing. 485 fees, they will always get it. They don't need to get it right now. There is no EAD, there is no AP extension fees. So that's not there.
So, September 30th, they have a target. If they're not fulfilling it, they need to fulfill it.
Yeah, but these are coming in October, not in September. So the start date is October. So it's...
What's your research? Got the curiosity. Tell me what's your research?
I have no clue. I mean, this is not going to stand in the courts because this is not a regulation that you're trying to amend. This is an INA passed by the Congress that you are trying to change it. So I caution the people that try to maintain the H-1Bs until the things are clear. And of course, I'll put the burden. If you want to stop this one, you got to shell in the money. I mean, it might be $100,000, $200,000 you might have to shell.
In other words, you're saying we have to fund Mr. Senator Grassley?
No, this is not going to work with Senator Grassley.
Okay.
this is going to work with what my suggestion is. There is a lawsuit filed on STEM extension. There is a law firm there. There is a court there. I mean, you all guys know we are not fit for that. So there is a law firm which is already doing. There's a law firm which is doing H4EAD. You might want to hire them. And I think so Satish is going to spearhead that. And that's the thing, after this we're going to meet and we're going to have tomorrow's meeting. Take the gun and shoot this guy.
Right now, all guns are towards you. So.
You guys can never beat me, guys. I can run. Okay? But the guessing game is now you guess. You tell me what you thought, what it is. Kumar, you were asking something.
Yeah, you just told 2011 place for October. November bulletin. Do you expect that to be moved? That's the next question. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
The way it seems to be that there is a possibility for that. I mean, I don't know how they came up. Is it that they can't process all these things? Practically speaking of, they moved how many months? 14 months. Why am I telling 14 months is, May 1st of 2010 was already current at one point of time. So almost 95% of the people who are on May 1st of 2010 have already filed. The 5% of the people are the people who probably have converted from EB3 to EB2. So May 1st of 2010 is already filed. So May 1st of 2010 to July 1st of 2011 is actually 14 months period. So is it that they can only, this 14 months we calculated, there might be approximately around 60 to 70,000 people who will be eligible, 60 or 70,000 families who will be eligible to file that adjustment of status in this point of time. Now, is it that they have only capacity to process in this particular month that thing? Why did they come up with this thing? Where does that come up? No answers from any of the State Department people on that.
So out of ignorance, I mean, you're talking about family-based. So how far are we on the family-based and the employment on the priority base?
Family-based,
Priority base.
family-based is, there are different categories. Like immediate relatives are always correct.
Right.
Just like the EB1 is always correct. So
You may not have that argument.
right. See, in the family-based, they don't have the same system what they have.
Right.
Why are they putting in this system? There's no legal basis for it. If they're telling that we don't want backlog, then how come there is backlog? There are a lot of backlog for Mexican nationals in the family-based. They are just like Indians in the employment-based. Mexicans are second-grade citizens in the family-based. There is nothing that is allowing them to file the additional status. So I don't know where they came up with the idea that they are doing it. I mean, there's no legal basis. They did not amend it. They could have increase the number of green cards by telling that we don't count the family members, because if you look into the reading of the INA, maybe they can change that reading by amending those things. They just bypassed everything and went into this one. Of course, we will suggest our client, and when we speak with employees, I don't speak like this, but we keep telling them to file a green card application. There might be a big rush for you guys coming from big companies. That's the notice that I got from some of the people. The big companies want to join the smaller companies like yours. Any
But
questions?
how long? Once they get the adjustment of status, they're gonna go back.
Well, Shashi, we are doing business, and people like Satish are doing business way before. Graduates.
So how long is the rush gonna be?
Graduates used to be current when we started doing business.
Or do you think there's a possibility that they've been running, like how many companies started off 2011 and before 2011?
We have statistics on how many number of green cards have been filed every year. We have statistics on how many number of those people will belong to the to the Indian nationals. About 60% of all the labor certifications filed are Indian nationals.
I think the only change from back then is consulting companies used to be bigger than law firms. Now it's the other way around.
Well, it's definitely not. I don't think so. Strategically, it's a good news for a lot of the organization, maybe for some, but it's not. I think so. Pretty much all the people have to get together on those things, and you already know that our law firm is not functional to take any lawsuit cases against the USCIS. It has to be done by another law firm. It's always been told like that. So I can only suggest the organization that there is no legal basis for this.
Any inputs from Isla on this kind of things?
Ayla probably likes it. They will like it because they are getting money. So they will like it. But they are not going to litigate on this case at all. Absolutely not. They probably will fight the STEM thing. They probably will fight the H4 EAD, but they will not be interested in fighting this thing. If the H4 EAD is trying to be disrupted or any court judgment, they would like to keep the H4, not against
Oh, okay, for it.
for H4.
What are the chances of getting the STEM extension 17 months?
I think so. It's about 90-95%.
We'll get it back.
Yeah, we'll get it back.
Or 24 months.
I'm sorry.
More than 17 months.
It might be, they are saying it's 24 months. They are saying that after bachelor's degree you get 24 months and after master's degree you get 24 months. So that's kind of what they are indicating. But now things didn't went the same manner in the priority dates like the way they were discussed about. Initially they said, we're not going to count the family members. We're going to give the unused green cards to the people who have in the past, between 1992 to 2003, there are about 250,000 green cards available. They're going to use that. But they didn't do any of those things. So they did it differently. And that looked to be more logical to me, more legal to me than this one.
What about illegal immigrants?
Illegal immigrant, the court put a ban on it, so that's it, it's over. I mean, by the time the Supreme Court or any court gets act on it, Obama is out. So it will be the next administration that will have an authority to do or not to do anything on that illegal. You have to understand that once an employment authorization is given, it is tough to take it back. And that's what exactly happened before, where they have given the employment authorization to the undocumented kids. These kids went and they spoke in the churches. The result of it is that Democrats win with 5 million votes.
Legacy is gone.
I'm sorry?
He'll miss the legacy if you don't give.
Yeah, but it's not in his hands. It's over. The Congress is dead. The Congress doesn't act this way or that way. The only one that is acting right now is the president, whether this way or that way. The Congress is dead. The Congress is not going to pass any legislation on immigration. You need 60 votes you need 60 votes to get it. The Democrats don't even have majority. And then if the Republicans ever have the 60 votes, which they might, then still you need to get the veto power. So that's not there either. So Congress is dead. So the only thing that is acting is executive actions. You need to understand that in the last year and the last 2 years, most of the executive orders will be passed in the last 2 years. Historically, in the 8-year term, it's always the last 2 years. They will take all bold decisions. Like for example, I mean, before when Bush came in, a lot of resources were being put into Cuba. Now they put Cuba out of the list. They're going to have an embassy in Cuba, Iran. Practically, we have strategic relationships. I mean, let's not get into the politics, but now daring decisions get to happen in the last 2 years. Now, in the daring decisions, this won't even come into the light, except grassroots, nobody makes a noise on this one.
And what's the take on what we were discussing on the conference call about increasing or raising or removing the quota on STEM H1B?
No, those are our STEM quota removal of, no,
Raising
no,
the H1B limit up.
no. Raising the H1B limit, they need to go to the Congress. So that's dead. So the only way they are trying to do by extending it, by giving 24 months on top of the 12 months of the STEM extension, is bypassing the Congress. That's it. Any other questions, guys? Well, I'll be here for questions and we'll meet tomorrow.
We all want Trump, sir. Donald Trump. Bodyguard father, right?
Yeah, basically on the lawsuit thing.
Lawsuit thing, okay. Satish, you want to speak on it?
How many of you, again, it's will be current next month. Everybody will keep getting, numbers will be priority, date will be current. So how many of you feel really threatened, of course?
If we don't have $100,000 in our bank right now, I don't think so Satish should even take the one step.
100, we have 175 members, each of some $50 will solve the problem.
So we have 2 cases to file, right? One is H1B amendment issues. Right now I am facing day-to-day, consultant cannot report So it's taking time for 2 weeks. H1B amendment
It is
is,
available right now to go
Yeah.
to work.
can't go to the
You
work.
cannot go just because you don't have.
So the second one is this one. So this one is again, it's going to be pattern in terms of for the industry. So the people will be moving. AC21 anybody can file, and in 6 months he's gone. So the total employment period is coming down to 1 year instead of 5 years for us. So the total cost we need to recoup within 1 year. So that's going to be devastating for us.
Our
So-
law firm is going to give the bullet points for the AC21 or this new visa bulletin for you guys, what to speak, what not to speak. But I think so the first thing the organization should do for this is get the money at the law firm, then we can always get the count.
Satish, are you proposing about lobbying or
No.
Yeah, one thing we are on the amendment issue, the TechServe, we are working with the TechServe, and last week also we had a call with them. So it's working on hiring a law firm to file the lawsuit, and that is happening. And this came in, so we'd like to add this to the cause. And TechServe is already allocated $25,000 as a budget, and we promise that we can contribute, at least what was the remaining amount of the money, at least maybe may take around $75,000 more. So being said, these 2 causes we can fight together probably. That's we have valid case as Rahul is saying, and based on that particular clause, if the numbers are not available, then they are not supposed to adjudicate the cases. So
My suggestion is take over, Satish. You take over.
I think, spending.
Don't rely on.
I think you should send
Yeah,
it.
Kumar, you're. Kumar, you're.
come on.
It starts, collecting
I mean, don't rely on TechServe, don't rely on Rahul Reddy,
Yeah, I think.
don't rely on anybody, just take over. That's the only thing.
So I think we have enough strength right now. So I think we need to get more companies involved. Once we started, I think everybody will come together. I believe. So if you all feel the same way, just would like to get an opinion. Somebody feels otherwise, and so then we can go ahead and get contribute. Probably, it's not a big amount of money. Maybe $1,000 to $5,000.
It's about March now.
Sorry?
March 1.
start date.
Okay. So how do you feel? Well,
We need to commit, and we need to say the sale of the company or whatever, we need to fight.
Okay. Anybody who is a consulting company owner who cannot contribute 1,000, can you raise their hands? So I take the assumption that everybody is contributing on 1,000. Suresh, you're there, the proof.
Otherwise, he's gonna write the check, no problem.
We trust him. But the
So
only
there
thing
are
is
200
we have
companies.
70 members over here, so if you can draft an email and send those pain points by tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll send it out. I'll give it to Satish to send it out.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Usually in a meeting you can address, and in Chicago and other places, we can inform the.
yeah, we have decent number, 200 companies already. So I think we can add 100 more if we just open up a little bit. So I think with that kind of number, $1,000 to $5,000, we can raise for each company. I think it's going to be a decent amount of money. Okay, we'll work on that. I think, unless you have any other comments.
I think we're all contributing.
Yeah, one thing, I think instead of TechServe, we should probably fight independently. I think last time when we involved TechServe, it took a long time for us to.
Right.
Hire the law firm and then get the time.
Yeah, at that time we were small. We are not, and also we wanted to have a client companies in the foreground, and we are in the background. So we went together so that it's going to be a stronger case. So yes, we can go independently too. So we'll work on both the options. So there we will help them again. We can file the lawsuit separate.
There's a party still goes on after this. So I'm here, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Rahul, మీరు కొట్టిన పోజు రెడ్డి అని చెప్పి